Hello everyone, back to tuning into today's final video. Going to have a look at weather for today's 14 days. For today's final video, day 10 will take us to the 23rd of January, and we'll be able to extend out beyond that with the extended GFS ensembles. They run around a couple of weeks. We'll have a look at CFS V2 for February at the end of the video, and the first part of the video will be dedicated to all things stratosphere wise. And I shall get on with that for you in a moment. Just to say that the first video today was the 6 AM upload, and release Jeremy Friday as well. Check out those two videos if you'd like to. Like, share, subscribe on the videos, and thank you so much everybody for getting that. Gonna be live streaming after 10:30 tonight. Goodness gracious me. I don't know. I'll see you later on that. But got this 10-14 there to do first of all. So before I do anything else, let's just put webcam back up. What am I doing? Before I do anything else, I'll say thank you so much to Peter Evans, who gave GavsWeatherVids a super thanks yesterday on this day 10-14 day. Thank you so much, Peter. And thank you for your lovely message with that super thanks as well, my friend. That's incredibly kind of you. Thank you so much, Peter, for doing that. If you'd like to give a super thanks to GavsWeatherVids, you can find the thanks button either along the share bar thing here. So, somewhere near the thumbs up and the share button and whatnot, or hiding behind the three little dots there. YouTube, you know, sometimes has it behind the dot, sometimes has it along the bar. But that's saying give a super thanks to GavsWeatherVids, and you'll get a shout out in the videos, and you know, we'll say thank you very much for your lovely donation and whatnot. Thank you so much, Peter, for doing that for me and also for GavsWeatherVids. Right, let's start off with the latest temperature forecast at 10 HPA in the stratosphere over the North Pole. Going to have a look at the GFS midnight and 6Z runs to start us off. So beginning with the GFS midnight run. So warming is taking place at the moment, actually over Siberia. The first opening salvo warming of the stratosphere is taking place there over Siberia. That sort of fizzles out over the next few days, but it's enough to kind of stretch out the polar vortex at its roots in the stratosphere there over the North Pole. Excuse me. Now, as we get in towards day 10, we find another significant warming developing over Siberia. More significant warming, actually, over Siberia, about 23rd of January, day 10, when we are reaching SSW level, temperature levels, you know, over Siberia then. And that very significant warming of the stratosphere then penetrating in towards the North Pole itself on this GFS run, and really starting to stretch out and displace the polar vortex at its roots there. So by the time you get through to the end of the GFS midnight run, it gets us to 29th of January. Obviously, a very significant warming has penetrated into the North Pole itself. Polar vortex is still just about in business, but looks very, very stretched. And, you know, it's taken a real hammering there. And you'll notice another warming is beginning to gather pace, actually, over Europe. So quite where that will go, we'll have to wait and see. And then we've got the GFS 6Z run, which again starts off with the first modest warming of the stratosphere, 10 HPA over Siberia at the moment. Blue and purple colours are the cold temperatures, basically the stratospheric polar vortex. And that's how we get to the 21st of January, when the first warming is kind of fading out over the Pacific, second warming is gathering pace. And that second warming intensifying into a very significant major stratospheric warming by the 23rd, 24th of January there over Siberia. Again, we see that warming penetrating into the North Pole. Now, the 6 is actually very close to splitting the PV. Look how those blue colours, remember, that's the polar vortex temperatures. Those cold temperatures are basically the polar vortex at its roots in the stratospheric polar vortex. Look how those blue colours become stretched and virtually split there. Into two lobes of cold. You know, one area of polar vortex going off into North America. Remember, this is in the stratosphere, not on the surface. But one section of the polar vortex going off to North America, another section going off to northern Europe and western Russia, and in between, we've virtually split the PV bed. Just not quite. Look, that starts to pull back together again. By the very end. Hang on. Polar vortex absolutely hang on by its fingertips. But by that point, another warming is starting to gather pace almost over North Pole, like just to the east of the pole over Russia. These are very, very, very significant developments now. And that would have to have an effect on the polar vortex further down the line. I think whether that's quite enough to produce a reversal of solar winds, I'm not sure, but that really, really is so close, a split even, of the polar vortex at its roots in the stratosphere. That's the first time we've seen where the GFS operation runs doing that, going that far, to virtually split the PV. So very interesting developments. Obviously, we're going to keep you posted on this in the next few days. ECM updated last night, so this would be latest 6 weeks stratospheric forecast for temperature 10 HPA. So week 1 is the 16th, 23rd of January next week. Polar vortex looking stretched with those blue colours, but still well and truly in business. Week 2 is the 23rd to the 30th of January. Significant warming gathering pace there over Siberia. Week 3, notice the blue colours go, so that could be a sudden stratospheric warming that takes place. As these are anomalies to average, we can't say that 100%, but the way the blue colours are just eliminated does kind of hint at an SSW going on. And pretty warm into week 4 as well, which is the 6th to the 13th of February, with those red colours there sitting over the top of the pile. They gradually fade out in weeks 5 and 6, but no sign of the PV reforming really up to that point. So, that would be very significant damage to the polar vortex. As far as the zone of wind forecast from the ECM WF model at 10 HPA, latest forecast looks like this. So obviously we're starting off with a very strong zone of wind at the moment with those cold temperatures at 10 HPA around minus 80, minus 85. Obviously we have, very, very, we have a very strong zone of wind. There is clearly, in the last week of January, a very significant warming, very significant weakening of zone of winds that is going on from this very strong level to a much weaker level through here. If we draw a line just there, so these are the ensemble members that are going for reversal of zone of winds, probably via a split of the polar vortex and the southern stratospheric warming. So I think there's about 9 or 10 doing that. But many more are going for a really significant weakening of zone of winds. So whether we just get a weakening of zone of winds, don't quite get them into reverse, or whether we do get a reverse of zone of winds remains to be seen. But these are very significant developments being predicted now in the stratosphere over the North Pole for the final week of January and into the beginning of February. And, excuse me, we shall keep a very close eye on all of the developments. Of course we will. More in the coming days. Central temperature has actually ticked up a little bit from 7.7 to 7.9. Wow, wow, wow. Now over 4 degrees above average. That is provisional to yesterday, to the 12th of January. That is going to start coming down in the next few days because it's going to be turning much colder over the weekend and into next week. And you see that very nicely here on the GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensemble graph. Look at Birmingham today. So the red line is the 30-year upper air temperature average for Birmingham, starting off mild average at the moment, but not for much longer. By the end of the weekend and for several days next week, we're going colder than average, which is something we've not been able to say since, I think, the middle of December. So colder than average next week. There is a recovery in the upper air temperature taking place into the last week of January. So it looks like it's going to become milder again into the final week of the month. Precipitation wise, so we've got more wet wind weather come tonight, tomorrow morning. And then during this cold weather, there is some precipitation around. And as it's cold, some of that could be a little bit wintry. More about that in a second. And then as it gets milder, more precipitation for the last week of January. Of course, that would suggest perhaps spells of rain. Let's have a look at snow row for Birmingham. So there's some snow spikes there around the 15th to 17th of January for Birmingham, indicating that yes, if it does get cold enough, there will be precipitation around. Some of that could, not necessarily saying it will, but some of that could fall as snow. Maybe we'll do a snow watch for you over the weekend. Wouldn't that be exciting? Temperature anomalies on the 13th to 21st of January are going to be a little bit colder than average. Wow, wow, wow. And precipitation anomalies. I'm getting ready for tonight. Precipitation anomalies on the 13th to 21st of January about average or wetter than normal. There's been from Matt from urbannorthschool.net shows we're between the low pressure areas today. One low has gone off to Denmark, and more low pressure is waiting in the wings in the Atlantic. That low will be with us tonight and tomorrow. And talking of low pressure, this is how the UK Met Euro run is looking midnight on Monday. Low pressure, excuse me, pushing through the country and introducing a cold northerly wind. So look at that, Tuesday, looking cold and wintry there. Low pressure to our south and east bring down this northerly wind, so it could be some rain, sleet and snow through the early part of next week. Low pressure sitting in the North Sea, kicks wind in from the north into Wednesday, and then Thursday to Friday will bring low pressure back in from off the Atlantic. That will push milder air back in, and initially that might bring some snow, but it will turn back to rain as the wind swings into west and it becomes milder once more. Icon looks like that. Again, putting down that cold northerly wind on Monday, keeping wind in from the north on Tuesday and on Wednesday. Then Thursday, Friday, milder air moving in off the Atlantic with a band of rain that could be preceded by some snow, but it introduces milder air from the west and from the southwest. So by, the end of next week, a fall is taking place. GFS midnight run, again looking cold with winds in from the north on Monday, cold and wintry into Tuesday and Wednesday as well. Low pressures are knocking about the place, so there will be precipitation around. Devil will be in the detail of where rain, sleet, snow divide is going to be, but there will be snow around through the early to middle part of next week. We keep wind in from the north on Thursday as well, not till Friday, but we start to push in some milder air from off the Atlantic with GFS midnight rain. It does struggle actually to get milder air in, but eventually by Saturday, it takes longer to do it than UK Met and Icon, but eventually by Saturday we are pulling in those milder west or southwest winds. And then we go into a milder spell up to day 10. Winds in from the southwest, high pressure around Spain, low pressure around Iceland. So drawing up a southwest wind. And then high pressure builds in through the last week of January. This is a mild ridge, but as it becomes centrally located over the country, there could be a little bit of a gruesome twosome in with that. Maybe a little bit of frosty, foggy, gruesome, twosome type stuff. I'm getting ready for tonight, everyone. I'm getting ready for tonight. Right, so in the last week of January, I get some frost fog. Oh dear, I'll make myself cough. Right, so let's have a look at the precipitation. Oh dear, precipitation type forecast. Based on that what am I talking about? Based on that GFS midnight run. Though initially we're going to have a lot of wet windy weather tomorrow. We'll start turning snow across Scotland as well. The cold air begins to dig in. By the end of tomorrow afternoon, shower turning wintry across Scotland, still as rain further south though. That's Sunday. So Sunday, wintry showers in the north, more wet weather down in the south. Now on Sunday night, some of that rain starts to turn to snow. Look at that, wow, wow, wow. Starts to turn to snow there on Sunday night across Wales, the Midlands and to East Anglia. More snow further north, cold rain in the extreme south of the country. Don't take that too literally, but just a suggestion that yes, there could be snow around, this weekend and into next week. About 6 a.m. Monday. Snow across East Anglia, snow to Scotland, Northern Ireland, northwestern Wales. Still rain in the far south and southwest, and then through Monday the snow risk comes further south, so by Monday night to Tuesday, even across the southern counties, there is a risk of some snow there, so that, looks quite significant on Tuesday. Rain, sleet, snow down in the south. Notice inland regions tended to become drier. And then we go into the end of next week, and that well, system comes in off the Atlantic. That takes rain across the country, not much snow on the leading edge of that. This is the GFS 6Z run, again with low pressure sitting somewhere over East Anglia at 6 a.m. on Monday, pulling in cold air from the north, and then we keep those winds in from the north through the early to middle part of next week by Thursday to Friday, where the system pushes across the country, introducing milder air from off the Atlantic, but struggling as it does so. There's a struggle to get that milder air in, but eventually by Saturday we are pushing up the wind from the southwest, so it is only a brief sort of colder interlude. By day 10, looking very mild actually, wind in from the southwest, high pressure building to our south and east. And then we go off into a bit of a battle through the last week of January with high pressure trying to get going over Scandinavia, battling against low pressure in the Atlantic. So by the end of the GFS 6F run, we look like that. Still drawing up wind from the southwest with high pressure to our south and east, low pressure waves to our northwest. This is a precipitation forecast based on that GFS 6F run. Again, lots of wet weather to come tonight, tomorrow morning, through into Sunday. That's when the showers turn increasingly wintry up in the north, and then on Sunday evening we bring this area of low pressure into south, wet weather in southern areas turning to snow as that rain bumps into the cold air across Wales, the Midlands, Northern England, a little bit further north with that significant snow on Sunday night. But, there is significant snow there. That's the main talking point. There is significant snow going on Sunday night through parts of England and Wales. Meanwhile, further northwards, we have snow showers across Scotland. And that snow continues across eastern England right way into Monday afternoon, actually. So once the snow starts on Sunday night, it really is on for several hours on some parts of England and Wales with this particular GFS operational run. Eventually, by Tuesday, that gets out of the way, and we've just got snow showers, really, within that cold and unstable northerly wind. Of course, there might be little troughs and convergence lines in the flow with that. And then in comes that weather system on Thursday to Friday. Now, that's starting to get in, so there is some snow with that as it pushes into the cold air Thursday to Friday, but this time it does turn back to rain as the milder air tucks in from off the Atlantic Ocean. Very, very interesting. Wow. You enjoyed the video, then please can you like, share, subscribe. Thank you so much everybody for doing that. Why not drop a comment, let us know what you think about this and all of our videos. Thank you so very much everyone for doing that. Right, GM, again with a cold northerly wind on Monday, and we keep it cold and wintry into Tuesday and Wednesday as well. Thursday also looking quite cold, but by Friday milder air is coming in from off the Atlantic, and that takes us into a milder spell of weather up to day 10, although the GM does have more influence from high pressure around days 8, 9, 10, and so the upshot with that is probably going to be like fog and that. I would have thought murk, foggy weather, milder, yes, but I reckon that could be pretty murky and not overly mild, really. Notice the high pressure is strengthening there over Scandinavia. That might be something we've got to watch out for as we head towards February, a Scandinavian high. And then the ECM at WF, once again, bring wind in from the north on Monday. Those northerly winds carry on Tuesday and Wednesday as well. Thursday also looking cold and wintry. Friday starts to turn milder. And by the time we get through next weekend, we're looking milder in all areas, albeit anticyclonic. So again, we could get a little bit of a gruesome twosome with this, frost and fog. More likely, just like a cloud, but I wouldn't completely rule out chance of some frost and fog there. This is precipitation forecast based on that ECM run from meteo.com. Loads of rain myself tonight and tomorrow morning. Wet up in the north, snow up in the north, I should say. And as we go through the weekend, we find some snow showers there on Sunday across central parts of the country. Wintry showers there into Monday. Just how about snow events Sunday night into Monday? Interestingly, Not sure why the ECM is a bit different. Probably the low pressure is a bit further southwards overnight Sunday to Monday. So not much of a snow event. Notice that there is heavy snow there just in the extremes to the extreme south over the continent. So I expect it's a little bit further south with that area. Low pressure on Sunday night. All margins error, you know, so we just want to wait and see how that works out. I mentioned Tuesday and Wednesday snow shower, particularly around the coast, drier inland. So those snow showers do get through at times into inland regions. Certainly very cold through the early middle part of next week, and then later it gets milder as this band of rain with a little bit of sleet snow mixed in, pushing in off the Atlantic, introducing the mild winds from the west. By daytime, we're looking drier. We can't show you the option table again within the ECM ensembles from the Icelandic Met Office today. Unfortunately, once again, they have not updated. As soon as we get an update from the Icelandic Met Office with these options on the table, we will bring that to you, but at the moment, we still don't have those scenarios, those clusters. So the last thing we're going to look at is CFS V2 for February. This is a 700 millibar high only forecast for February with low pressure to our west and northwest. I'm bringing an Atlantic driven west or southwesterly wind. So a mild and average February is being predicted there. And precipitation wise, it looks wetter than average, especially so to our north and west. We'll worry about February when we get to it, I think. Okay, if you enjoyed the video, please you like, share, and subscribe. And thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. Why not drop a comment and let us know what you think about this and all of our videos. Thank you so much, everyone, for doing that. Right, just to tell you what, I'm going to be live streaming, by the way, 10:30. I don't think I mentioned it, but we'll have a live stream at 10:30. So I shall see you for then if you're around the channel. Tomorrow, just don't come up tomorrow. So we're going to have the 6 a.m. upload. We will have weekend broadcast, have the ECM extended look ahead as well. And if that wasn't enough, there'll be a 10 to 14 day tour of all of the latest stratospheric developments and cold snap potential. Also, and then on Sunday, you know, just plenty of updates coming up. We're going to have a mid-winter review of the winter forecast on Sunday. There will be a spring update as well. There'll be a 6 a.m. forecast as ever. There'll be a 10 to 14 day. Might even try and get snow watching. Just so much going on the channel at the moment. So do please keep checking back and liking, sharing, subscribing. Thank you so much, everybody. And I'll see you a little bit later on for our Friday night live stream. But for this video, that's all for now, and thanks for watching.